on, I have a couple of questions. The first question is, do you think, and we'll go one by one, that a man or a woman would be more likely to lie to you? Starting with you.
Just to me or as a whole? Like,
as a whole, a random man, random woman, which one do you think would be more likely to lie to you?
I'm biased, but I'm going to say a man, honestly.
What's it? Yeah, get right up on the mic.
I'm biased, but I'm going to say a man, just because that's what I have the most experience with.
Okay.
A woman, for sure.
A woman's the most likely to lie to you?
Absolutely.
A woman.
Woman.
A woman.
Woman.
A woman.
Woman.
A woman.
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 Okay.
Damn.
Now,
Rachel underscore is underscore a underscore bad underscore waifu donated $100.06. I sent a Donalabs message to the Crucible and your wife is asleep at the wheel. Get your blanket back. R.I.P. Dillahunty. R.I.P. Watson. R.I.P. Materialism.
she stole my blanket, fucking brat. But anyway, she did. I had a fan. He sent me this custom knitted wool blanket that his wife made. And he was like, he sent it up with a few other things, like a couple of fists of vodka, and just because he likes to watch my show. And she did. She took it. She stole it. The brat. The first thing she did, she was like, "Oh my God, this is so con." She took off with it.
Must have been her pretty privilege.
Yeah. Never did. And you know the thing is she's like, "Well, you just use it whenever you want." I'm like, "But it's mine. I'm supposed to be. What the fuck is it?" But anyway, back to this. Now that we have all the answers, I have to ask this question: man versus bear. Okay. Would you rather be stuck in the forest with a random bear or a random man?
Random man, for sure.
Random man.
Yeah.
The bear.
The bear.
We don't know what kind of bear.
We don't know what kind of bear. We don't know what kind of man.
That part.
Random and random.
I mean, if it's just random, probably man.
Okay. If it was a black bear?
If it was a black bear, I would choose the black bear.
Okay.
Man.
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 Man. Man.
Okay, so for you two, pick the bear.
No,
you picked the man.
Yeah.
Wait, you picked the bear, you picked the bear.
The black bear.
Okay, now I
I get to pick the black man
Hang
or
on,
the black
hang on,
bear
hang on.
because I'm going with the black
Okay,
man.
I get it. But also both of you selected that a woman would be more likely to lie to you, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm a man. That answer is stupid. Do you believe me?
No.
No? No? Of course not. Of course not. All right. So on the bear question, why did you pick the bear?
From personal experience. So I'd rather, I'm more, well, for me, I'm an
Oh
animal.
my God! Don't do
Nothing
this.
for me.
You're not going to do the Shira
Bullshit.
thing, are you? You're not
The
going to do
what?
you're not going to do the Shira thing where I've been out with the bears and I've seen hundreds of bears and they've always left me alone. You're not going to
No,
do that.
I'd rather
are you?
snuggle a bear than snuggle a man. A man is more dangerous than a bear.
Yeah. Let me ask you. Let's put this to the test. If you were walking down a random street in the United States, just a random one, you walked over to a random man and patted him on the head, versus walking over to a random bear and patting it on its head, what do you think would happen if you patted a random man on the head versus a random bear?
Probably the same. They'll both turn around and grab the you. Right, hey, I heard someone say it's true back there. They'll both grab the fuck out of you.
I think
Jesus Christ.
No, yeah, I think the bear would turn around and eat your face, and I think that the man would go, "What the f*** are you doing?"
How do you know it's not the other way around?
That the bear would turn around and say, "What are you doing?"
What are you doing? And the man's going to turn around and eat your face.
Yeah, I don't think the bear's gonna say anything because it's a bear. But okay, so over to you.
Okay, so, well, I mean, I will say if it's just a totally random man, it probably would be fine. But, like, just given this whole, like, man-bear controversy, like, when I'm thinking about being in the middle of the woods, I'm thinking of, like, a Stephen Avery type of man with a gun and a knife. And, like, I would rather be
Wouldn't
alone
you rather
in the woods.
be in the woods with a random guy with a gun and a knife?
No, personally, I mean, black bear, as long as you just diverge, like, they usually don't bother you. Whereas, like, now I don't know.
They kill people all the time.
So do
I mean, I know many people who have been in the woods with black bear and have lived to tell the tale.
You hear your answer
But-
there? You're like, so do men, right? Well, that's true. right? It's not actually very common for men to kill women, by the way. It's not even the top 15 deaths for women. Women are more likely to die from random accidents than they are to die from men. Did you know that? But that aside, by the way, that stat came directly from Rollo Tomasi. Thanks for that, Rollo. But yeah, not even in the top 15. Not even the top 15 women are more likely to die from random accidents, literally random accidents, than they are to die from a man. What do you think your chances are, though, of being in a confined space with a bear, like the bear not attacking you?
I feel like that's a different question, though.
No,
if it was a confined space, I would choose the man. But in the woods, you could just walk away and like not bother the bear, and the bear probably wouldn't bother you.
Couldn't you walk away from the man?
Well, this is the thing, is I feel like there is a chance that you could become the prey of the man if you're
versus
just alone.
A bear?
I mean, a man alone in the woods.
Like a bear
is there
just
no one
spawns
else?
in the woods. He's not going to be really pissed off, and you're on his radar.
I mean, I genuinely do know a lot of people who have gone in the woods hiking, whatever, hunting, have come across bear, and
I know way more people who've gone into the woods and come across random men.
That's fair.
And have had no problems whatsoever.
That is
but
a
I've
fair
met
point.
many people who've come across random bears, and they go, "Holy, I was terrified. This thing was going to eat my face."
When you're a woman, though, alone in the woods, you're scared of both. I will say that.
I think a bear goes about his business, but the man's like, I'm going to find this woman.
I think that's what like the psychology of a woman, at least. Like, yeah.
I'm going to find this woman. Oh, okay.
Yeah, don't say that.
I mean, I'm gonna
essay.
But that's like just the worry that comes across a woman's mind, whether it's true or not.
No, I understand. Listen, so here's the olive branch. I understand that this is a worry that a woman would have because of the power dynamic difference. A man can overpower her, but this question is asking, really, like, wait a second, but a bear really can overpower you much quicker than a man could. Right? Bear's a wild animal. You have no predictive, kind of model of what you could even do against a bear. Most random men who spawn in a forest with you, do you think that they'd actually attack you for just no reason?
I mean, most random men, no.
Most.
But, I mean...
What about most random bears?
I mean, like a black bear. I really don't think that, like, why would it want to...
You don't think that most random black bears would attack you?
I mean, if you're like getting in its way or getting in front of it, like if it's got its cubs there or something, like maybe. But I think if it's just
you just come across it, they will just attack you for that.
If you're close enough, but I guess I'm
even if you're far away, like you can't predict wild animals. That's why they're wild animals, right?
Yeah. But I guess in the same scenario, how can I predict that like a man with weapons is not going to harm me?
Well, I would assume it's based on experience. You come across men every single day of your life,
all
the time.
Not alone in the woods, though.
But even if you were alone in the woods, do you really think that just like random passerby men just can't wait to assault random women in the woods?
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, it sounds silly when you say it like that.
Well, because it is silly, right? Like the amount, first of all, the amount of men who do these types of things, very tiny percentage. You're talking 0.2%. The population does these things, and they could. Like they could do it if they want. They don't, but they don't do it.
Do you know the stat on how many people black bear kill?
I mean, black bears, I think there was recently an attack. I don't know the exact percentage of bear kills, but what I would do is look at it as bear confrontation kill versus man confrontation kill. And then I would look at it this way. So you're going to have way more confrontation with men in your life than you are with bears. But how many confrontations can you have with bears versus men that you're going to walk away from alive?
You mean encounters?
Confrontations. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've probably had confrontations with many men.
Yeah.
And you're quite alive.
Yes.
How many confrontations do you think you could have with a bear?
Yeah, I mean, the bear would obviously win.
Yeah. And the bear's not going to give a shit. It's not going to listen to logic, reason. It's not going to listen, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just saying, if you end up in the woods, I mean,
I would be scared either way, alone in the woods. I don't belong alone in the woods, I guess. But.
And Andrew, too, you have used the example of what's the better, I don't know if you've used it so far, the better outcome if you pat the bear on the head.
Yeah, I did. We went over that.
And then just it pops into my mind, if you take it to a bit more of an extreme, if you went up and punched a bear in the snout, what's the likelihood of you being killed by the bear versus you even walk up to a man and punch him in the face. I don't think most men, even if you punch them in the face, are going to kill you for it.
I agree.
They might smack you back.
In fact, there's hundreds and hundreds of videos of women going off and hitting men, and men very much not doing anything about it,
hit you back.
except saying, "Stop, stop it, lunatic! Stop hitting me, crazy lady! Stop it!" Right? And clearly they could. Now, I do find the videos where they do hilarious. Don't get me wrong. The videos where they're like, "Oh yeah," and then down she goes, and I go, "Well, you deserved it, you idiot! What are you doing?" I think that's. I mean, if that was a response, I think that far less women would hit men. Honestly.
Or if you hit a bear in the snout and whatever decides to run away.
Yeah, we went around everything.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Let's see. Just curious, show of hands, who said bear?
These two.
You too? Okay. Interesting. Let's see. Going back to your notes here, you said controlling ass men, like the ones on Secret Lives of Mormon. So I don't know that show.
Secret Lives of what?
It's Mormon Wives. It's a show that's
You're
really
too
big
far.
right
Please, come on.
now. Mormon Wives. It's a show that's out right now that's kind of popular.
Right up on the mic.
I think I am.
Sorry.
But yeah, their husbands are just very, very controlling when it comes to them.
How does that mean?
For example, there was an episode where they went to Chippendales as like a fun little activity, and two of their husbands threatened like divorce.
So?
Because they went there.
Good.
Sure.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
I mean, you don't think that's a little controlling?
No,
when,
you
like,
don't
they
go. My wife don't go to a Chippendales. You get to get a divorce.
Say it's like a bachelorette and it's a group of her friends.
No.
It's not her idea.
No.
Really?
Yeah, no.
Why do you feel that way?
Wait a second. Why would it be okay for my wife to go look at naked men?
Because she's not touching them and she's not,
Yeah, so what? Yeah, so what? Why would
So you think that's grounds for like a divorce or just like a conversation?
Yeah, well, if I told her no, yeah. Well, here, let's reverse it, right? I think it would be fair grounds for her to put up the same boundary and say, no, you can't go to a strip club.
Yeah.
Of course not. It's ridiculous. You're married. You have, it's absolutely inappropriate for you to do that.
A lot of women have issues with their boyfriends or husbands either watching porn or going to the strip club. Most women would not be cool with it.
That's not even the I mean, you're right, by the way. You're right about that. But the thing is I guess my issue here, my contention is, what is actually the problem there? Do you think that a woman has some unique right when she's married to go look at naked men?
The way that they felt was, well, you don't trust me. Like, I'm not going to do anything. I would never cheat. You've known me for this many years. We've been together this long. Like, have we not established trust? And that's why they were obsessed on the show.
I see. Well, my counter to that would just be this. Okay.
I got a counter too.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go.
No,
you. I meant I was going to go after you. You started it. Are you? Oh no, I was going to go after you. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
So it comes down to the idea of just trust, right? And say, okay, well then I'm going to go buy a prostitute and I'm just going to sit up in the room with her and we're going to talk.
Well, one's public, I think, was the difference.
Why does that matter? Do you do realize that there's back rooms at a Chippendales and all those things, right?
Yeah, I think just one's more intent. Like a prostitute, like we all know what's going to happen. Chippendales.
Wait, why do we all know what's going to happen? Don't
because
you
that's
trust?
What you're paying
don't you
for.
trust me?
Well, that's what you're paying.
Don't you trust me? Why don't you trust me? Why don't you trust me?
That's paying them to have sex with you.
I can't believe you don't trust me.
Right, but that's paying them to have sex with you.
I just can't believe
Okay, what do you think about this?
I just told you I wasn't going to. You don't trust me. Why would you go to a Chippendales?
Have no moral compass. Overwhelming majority of the U.S. population of men have some level of morality. However, I feel most men would avoid a woman in the woods, avoid a false allegation charge.
Desert Joe, good to see you in the chat, man. Thank you for the TTS. Very much appreciated.
But yeah, when we're going at it, I mean, you see how slippery that slope is, right? If I say, okay, well, I'm going to get a prostitute and I'm just going to talk with her, don't you trust me?
But then why not just go to a strip club?
I don't understand why that matters.
Because
don't you trust me?
One is the intent to sleep with someone. The other one's a strip club. You're just sitting there looking.
Wait. All that matters here is the trust.
But that's not what they were saying. One's like a public setting, like Chippendales. It's just they're on the stage, you're looking at them. Getting a prostitute, you know why you're paying.
How does the man know that that's what's going on?
At Chippendales?
You get a prostitute
I got
just
that.
to go
I have
cuddle and talk.
I'm sorry, at strip clubs, you know that this is true because you worked in these clubs. Don't women often prostitute themselves in the back strip clubs?
A portion of them.
Yeah.
How many people prostitute from a Chippendales?
Oh, they do it. They do it there too.
But if you get a
Really?
prostitute
Yeah.
on the street
Of course
or
they do.
something,
Or
that
is
is
it
what
Of course
they're
they do
doing.
that too. But that aside, right? Let's assume that they didn't.
Yeah.
I thought we were talking about trust here.
Right, but it's different venues. You know what
So
I mean? Like
what?
if you're paying a prostitute,
It's
like
trust.
It's a no
Trust
thing.
is trust. I just want to talk to her about my feelings about how you don't trust me.
That's wild.
That is.
What's the
not the
problem?
same
That's a wild
thing.
statement. Yeah, that's completely different.
I don't understand. If it's trust, right, then you say, trust me to go look at naked men and do nothing. Okay.
I see what
Trust
you're
me,
saying.
hang on, trust me to go sit in a room with a naked prostitute and do nothing.
I think one's a bit more logical because it makes more sense. Like
They're
you're at a
both- it's the
bachelorette
same
party.
logic.
You're at a bachelorette party with a bunch of your friends. You're a lot less likely. I would
Okay,
say-
great. I'll go in the room with a prostitute with two of my friends.
Right, but everyone knows why you pay a prostitute, though.
Everyone
People
knows
pay to
why
go-
you pay a stripper, though.
But everyone knows why you pay to go to Chippendales. It's
Yeah,
to,
what are you
watch
paying
the
to go to
show.
Chippendales for? Is
To
to-
watch the show.
You want to watch a bunch of dicks in your face?
I mean, I guess her friend did. 'cause
I
it's her
guess
friend's
so. I
bachelorette,
mean, I
yeah.
guess so, right? It's like,
Can I
okay,
add
you can have a dick in your face, and I should trust you, but I can't go up into a room with two of my friends with a prostitute and talk to her about my day. What the fuck? I just can't believe I can't believe how little trust you have for me.
None, not at all.
Unbelievable.
I had an example here I wanted to provide, and then Oksana, I'll have you come in. But I mean, maybe you don't like the example Andrew provided. So what about this one? You're married to a man, and he has an ex-girlfriend, and you're out of town, and he hangs out with her one-on-one, alone. She comes over to the house, but he tells you, "Oh, nothing's going to happen." But you know for a fact that this woman actually has some sort of lingering romantic or sexual interest in your husband. Do you trust would you be okay with him one-on-one at night at your house, him hanging out with her?
I think it would be wrong on other end. I should do that.
Can you
and he
be
shouldn't
close?
do that.
Can you be closer?
You
to
shouldn't
him?
go to a strip club, and you shouldn't go to a
That
strip
goes
club.
back to one's in public and one's like a show on a stage.
Well-
Another one is someone who has feelings and
So you'd be fine if he was hanging out with her in
But
public.
it's about trust.
I think it also comes into play what they're doing exactly. Like in this instance, it was for a bachelorette for her friend on a stage. They're watching the show, but the other one's like someone who has feelings
as long as
for
it's
them
as long as
at
it's
your
public,
house alone.
he can go out to dinner with his ex-girlfriend, right?
You know, there's all kinds.
Hang on,
of-
he can go out to dinner with his ex-girlfriend.
That's completely different.
Why?
again,
It's
because
public.
She went to this place to watch a show.
Yeah.
Another one's like an intimate.
And
dinner.
she went to this place to eat dinner.
Right, that's an intimate setting. This one is watching a show.
What do you mean?
on a
It's
stage.
public.
You buy tickets,
They can't eat dinner at Chippendales.
but one's more intimate.
Like what?
I guess you. I don't know. Maybe you can. But one's more intimate. One's like an intimate setting.
What
where
is
there's-
intimate about
where
having lunch?
There's feelings. You just said there were feelings.
Okay, I'm gonna just take. I'm just gonna take out that you don't know if there's feelings or not. You have no clue. It's okay for your ex or I'm sorry, your current boyfriend or husband to go have dinner with their ex, right?
There were feelings though, and that's what matters. You know what I mean? They did care about each other at one point.
Oh,
So
got it. Okay,
But, I mean, who
got
knows?
it.
Maybe if there's-
and that's and you would expect, of course, that since you would be not okay with that, he wouldn't be okay with it back.
no, and that's okay.
Of course.
I shouldn't do that.
So if he wasn't okay with you going and having floppy dicks in your face, right? What's the problem?
but it was like a show up on a stage. I think was
So
the
what?
issue, and it was for her friend's bachelorette.
So what? She does. So why does a man? Why do you think that it's appealing to a man to think that his wife's going to go look at naked men?
I just don't know that it's grounds for divorce. Maybe a discussion, maybe even therapy, but like a divorce.
No,
is
that's
like
not what
extreme.
the grounds
You
for
know?
divorce is. The grounds for divorce is not that she wanted, even though I think that's bad enough. It's that they pushed it. Why would you push to go look at other naked men if you're married to a man? That's a fucking horrible thing to do. Like that's such an over the top awful thing to do. Tell me a lot about you. Tell me a lot about what type of person I was dealing
So
with.
say it wasn't even her idea, and it was her friend's bachelorette, and she just went to support.
She should have immediately been like, no, I'm not going to do that to my husband. That's unconscionable. What kind of horrible fucking bitch goes to their husband and says, "Hey baby, I'm just going to go to a bachelor party and look at naked dudes with my friends."
Yeah.
Like, what do you think he's going to say? Oh, okay. Well, I mean, that's not ground. I trust you completely. What kind of fucking simp would do that? Like, what kind of bitch made man
What
would
about
do
just
that?
going to like a regular bar or club with your girls? Like it's her birthday or something. You're going out to a club and you guys are going out for drinks and
Why are you
dancing.
going out to a club for?
just celebrating your homegirl's birthday or something.
Yeah, I think that going out to like a public restaurant or something like that, not a club where you're grinding your ass on men, right? And twerking on the dance floor.
Like, there's a lot of girls that smack their own homegirls ass and dance.
What if they just keep to themselves, like in a section or something, and they're not, they're not there to meet men. They just really want to celebrate their.
Then why don't they dance at home?
It's not the same setting because when you go out,
it's
like
not the same setting because
the
men
difference?
can't see you. Look.
Okay, what the difference is, I know like a lot of women can relate to this. It's like getting ready to go out with your girls. You guys are pre-gaming, listening to music. Everybody's picking out their outfits.
you can still do that.
Do
It's
all
fun.
that shit.
And you go out.
Literally everything you just said, you could literally do at home. Then go downstairs to the room that you have the dance music in, and all of you can twerk together.
Still do it.
It's a different type of feeling when you go
Yeah,
out.
because there's not men. Because there's not fucking men. Because
We
there's
can do
not
both.
men.
There's all the above. You go
It's-
out like, okay, it's a different feeling. Okay, it was like we're all on the dance floor. We're dancing with each other. They play one of our favorite songs.
Why can't
Boom.
you do that at home?
Both. Why not both?
Yeah, well, okay, but my question to you is, minus the amount of penises around, what is the actual distinction between you doing everything you just said at your house with your girlfriends
Nobody wants to be
versus at a
cooped up.
brick and mortar building where there's tell me.
It's
Hang
okay.
on.
Nobody wants to be
before
cooped
you
up
jump
in the room.
Let me finish.
In the house.
Let me
Like,
finish.
just go outside.
Let me finish.
Okay.
You
You can do all this outside. Literally. You can literally walk outside and do every fucking thing you just stated right outside. Not kidding. I promise. You can get dressed. You can get ready. You can put on your mascara. You can put on your lipstick, and you can feel pretty. And you can get together with your girlfriends, and you can go right in your backyard and bounce club music and dance to it. I assure you that you can do all of those
That is
things.
fun as well. But
So it is fun as well. So you don't want to go out with your friends and maybe go to a bar, or go out and get drinks and dance and hear music with your friends out in public?
Men
Well,
don't
okay.
dance with men.
Well,
So-
not dance, but like,
First of all-
I'm just saying, like going to bars. I know a lot of men that are married that go to
and
bars.
here's what men do at bars. They walk into bars filled with other men. You know who's not usually hanging out at bars? Shitloads of single women, unless it's at single bars or fucking clubs where they're trying to hook up with the dudes. You know what your random corner bar looks like? It looks like a bunch of guys who are like me. And it looks like they have a bunch of beers like this, and they're all married, and they're all talking about nonsense you don't fucking care about. They're talking about their lawnmowers and their grass heights, and they're talking about fucking... They're talking about how annoyed they are at the property taxes, right? They are definitely not the type of people you are talking about here. Okay? So yes, I think it's totally fine for men to go out to the bar, because that's what the fucking bar for men looks like. Just
I
saying.
think just going outside. Honestly, I don't like being
Versus,
cooped up in the
can
house.
I go to the club, honey, so I can twerk my ass all over the dance floor around a bunch of other... Why can't you do it here? I don't get the same feeling.
he does the kind of
It's like, well, it's like, what?
Oh my
what
God.
did you think?
They will understand.
I don't get the same feeling.
does the kind of bar matter though? Like, say she wants to go to a dive bar with her friends, because like honestly, I love a good dive bar. You know, like does that matter?
Yeah, I think it does. I think it matters, the club setting, versus like, okay, you have a neighborhood bar and your girlfriend Kelly down the street, you're going to go have a drink at the bar with her, right? That's a whole different thing than I'm going to get, hang on, then I'm going to get dressed up, skanked up, and because it gives me the good feeling, and yeah, don't lie, it's skanked up. They're going to wear the night clothes, the lady of the night clothes, right? Busty chest, short skirts, and they're going out to the club dressed like that, right? To get the feeling, right? Of what? Why can't you do that at home? What is the feeling you're after? We know what the feeling is. And it's like, fine. If that's what the feeling is, the feeling of male attention, then yeah, of course your man's not going to be okay with that. Why would he ever be okay with that? Versus, oh, hey, honey, me and Chuck are going to go down to the bar where there's 3 other guys who you know are always down there because they're barflies, right? And then any given time she walks in, the only thing she has to do is drag your drunk ass out of the fucking bar. The only thing that's hitting on anything in that bar is your head on the fucking bar after you've had too many drinks. It's like, that's the male bar experience.
I thought you meant period. Like they shouldn't go out at all. You know, like not even a dive bar.
No,
like
there's
nothing.
you have to. It has to comport with reason.
That's fair. I think
but
that's
it's
fair.
beyond. It's beyond obvious that women who are going and dancing in skimpy outfits at the club who say, "Don't you trust me," are being very fucking disingenuous. Because there is no male alternative which we can present. And because there's no good male alternative we can present other than Brian saying, "Okay, fine, I'm going to go out with an ex-girlfriend." No, that's not okay. That's insane.
That's one-on-one.
Yeah,
And there
yeah.
were feelings
But
that
what are
existed.
these distinctions? They're just made up nonsense distinctions.
Well, one's just more
There's no
intimate.
intent on trying to get.
How? Right. Okay, honey.
I
There's
have
no
something on
intent.
this.
Honey, there's no intent. I'm just going out with my ex-girl. There's no intent.
But there were feelings at one point, and that's proven.
But there's
You know,
not
'cause you
feelings
did.
now. Sounds like you don't trust me.
But the thing is, the feelings did exist, so it's more likely.
So what? It's likely from her. Who cares about her? Don't you trust me?
Well, what if she doesn't trust her? Then it's just
Yeah, right. That's the point. Right?
Yeah.
What if he does? What if you don't trust her? Don't you trust me?
Then why is he going?
Okay,
If we know
right.
that
Then
she
why
is.
are you going? It's
But
the
it's
same.
not meeting with
It's the
external
same
one-on-one
logic.
setting. Yeah.
It's
not
literally
as
the
intimate.
same logic.
It's not as intimate. It's not meeting with one person.
Oh, okay. It says who? I think a man thinks that if you're looking at naked men, that's pretty fucking intimate. I'm not gonna lie. I
it's
think that
not
that's
one you have a
pretty
relationship with.
intimate.
Yeah.
Like, how's that not intimate? Honey, I'm gonna go with my friends to look at naked
I mean,
dudes
he'd seen his
dancing.
ex naked
Oh, that's
once,
not
so-
intimate, honey. Have a good day. Have fun. It's like, of course he's gonna be upset. Of course.
So I'll just add one word, not so long like you guys. For me, it's
Sorry,
black and
we
white.
interrupted your
Whatever.
I'm kidding.
ahead,
I'm
go
kidding.
You finished, right?
No.
You're good. You're good.
Okay. So it is black and white. Cheating is anything that stimulates you sexually other than your partner. So whatever it is, corn, whatever it is, the or whatever, the dancing or whatever, for men, looking at the girls who are doing all exotic dancing or whatever, it is also cheating. For women, whatever stimulates you sexually, it is also cheating on your partner. It is like a little seed that goes into your mind, then creates a certain fantasies, then creates a certain ideas, creates a certain thoughts, creates certain actions, then creates habits, and then it creates divorces.
So like
It-
micro cheating, like even if you're smart.
But that's how it starts. Even with drugs, it starts the same way, little by little. You put that seed in there, and it's gonna start cultivating, start growing there. So whatever stimulates you sexually, other than your partner, is cheating. And we were talking about knuckles or whatever. A little. I mean, that goes even without saying.
Emotionally.
Now, what? Again, when I'm coaching my female clients, when we're talking about relationships or whatever. I am telling them that when they start changing their circle, when they start developing their relationships, they are with someone, their circle should be changing. There's no more like single girlfriends. The new surroundings should be successful couples. Whatever you want your relationship to lead, wherever you want your relationship to become, surround yourself with those type of examples, those role models. Otherwise, it will go downhill.
So I want to go around the table, kind of. I want to dive into the whole, going out to bars, clubs, parties, this sort of thing. So going around the table, if your boyfriend told you, let's say you were inclined to go out to parties or bars or clubs, and your boyfriend told you he didn't want you to go out and do this anymore, would you stop?
Yeah. Honestly, I have, like in relationships.
Into the mic?
In relationships, I have before. Yes.
It would be a discussion. I think I'm an extrovert. I like to go out. I like to party. I like to have fun. And kind of if he's like the one that doesn't, especially if he doesn't want to go with me, then it's going to be kind of like, well, you compromise.
So the discussion is, this is a boundary for me. Don't want you to go out anymore. You continue the going out, the relationship's over. That's the discussion. Is you breaking up, or are you saying, I love you, let's stay together, I'm not going to go out anymore?
I think I probably won't go out no more. That sucks ass.
Yes, I would not. I would stop going out.
I'm sober and I don't go out, but if I did, I would be willing to stop.
You'd be willing to stop?
Absolutely stop.
Yeah, I would. I'm a DJ, so no.
What if he was rich
No.
and he
It's
could
my-
support your? Yeah.
I love my job
It's
and I
your
love what I
passion.
do. So
It's your
no.
passion. Hell yeah.
So you would choose your job over the relationship, over your man?
Yeah. It's my
You would choose your job
Yeah.
over your man?
If somebody doesn't support my
Wait. Can I
work,
ask you what's the purpose of a job?
to make money.
Let's say he was
But
willing
it's
to
also,
provide for you.
I mean, it's also a passion. If somebody asks you to stop your podcast and
Well,
what if
I mean-
pay, you know?
But if he
If somebody,
pays
hold
you,
on, somebody comes along and says, Brian, stop your podcast for fucking $10 million. I might stop that shit.
I wouldn't.
Maybe I need a bit more.
I
Maybe a bit
wouldn't.
more. Who knows?
Personally, I wouldn't.
10 million. I need a bit more. Well, you could still like do your little DJ
I've
at the house.
for the last 6-7 years I've been learning how to engineer music, and I've put like dedicated all my stuff.
Yeah, you could do that at home.
I could do that at
Then you
home,
never
but
see it pay off.
Would it pay off as in money?
No, just like you never see your art.
I
come
get-
to
Art?
fruition.
I get the dopamine rush. I have fun. I'm also sober. I don't do it.
Okay.
I just hang out, do my thing.
All right, would not sacrifice your career for your husband? Okay.
No.
What about you?
Yes, definitely.
Anissa, do you party or?
I would stop.
And you have a boyfriend, right? So if he asked you to, but do you go out and party?
Not very often.
Not really. Okay. And then I kind of want just a show of hands on this. So I have like 7 questions, just kind of show of hands. Do you guys agree that men and women flirt differently? Show of hands. The way we flirt is different. Like the way we might try to get a partner is going to be different. Show of hands. Yes. Okay. Sort of similar question. Do you agree that men and women go about finding a partner differently? Yes. Do you agree that men are typically pursuers and women are the pursued? Mm-hmm. Show of hands. Show of hands. Okay. Do you agree that men are more likely to approach women than the reverse?
Yes.
I don't know. I feel like it can happen both ways.
How many times have you approached a guy?
I feel like a lot. Not like a lot, but like I feel like I've done it before.
What do you mean you feel like you've done it before? What does that even mean?
It means I feel like I've done it before. Like
You
I think I've
feel
approached,
like you've done it before?
Yeah, I've approached people that I've had interest in before, so I think it's possible that women do that also.
That's not the question. Okay, so have you been have more men approached you than you have approached men?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure I'll answer it differently than I'll raise my hand.
But the question was, do you agree that men are more likely to approach women?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. Do you agree that men are active and women are passive generally when it comes to dating? Okay. Do you agree that men are more likely to put themselves, or hold on, do you agree that women are more likely to put themselves in a position to be approached?
Yes.
That's for the whole panel.
yes.
All right. So I think to make my point here, so once people get into a relationship and they agree to be exclusive, monogamous, there is this sort of societal understanding that both parties should not actively be pursuing, right? Mm-hmm. Like if you're in a relationship, a girl shouldn't slide into a dude's DMs, a guy shouldn't slide into a woman's DMs. But here's the catch, right? Based off of all your answers. Women rarely or never pursue actively. So there's no societal standard that dictates when women get into relationships. Women, you guys, stop your behavior and conduct, which is the way that you guys get men, right? So for example, you might not slide into a guy's DMs, but you'll post a revealing photo. You might not approach a man at the bar, but you'll go to a bar with the expectation that men are going to come to you. So, like girls, you won't go out to a bar and actively approach 10 guys in a row with game the same way a man would. Guy goes up, gets rejected, next girl, next girl, next girl. Girls don't do that. Women will go out to a bar, though, and wait around for guys to approach them. You won't slide into DMs, et cetera, post revealing photos. But when men say that we want you to give up your means of flirting, posting revealing photos, putting yourselves in positions to be approached, going to the bar, it's met with like massive resistance. And so you want to paint us as like controlling But it seems like a fair proposition given the very real differences between men and women. We give up our edge. You guys need to give up your edge.
Yep.
Is that a fair proposition? So that's why, to get to your thing, we don't want you going to the bar and the club, because that's how you flirt. Because if I go to the club, ain't one girl coming to talk to me. I could go to a club 100 nights in a row. No girls coming to me to come talk to me. You go to the club with certainty, you're going to get like multiple guys coming to you. It's a given. So with that said, don't date chicks who go to the club, bar, party. Get your girl in line.
If we're curbing all of them.
I feel like guys will go to the club and cheat too. Like I have guy friends that will go just with the intent to cheat on their girl, you know? So I think maybe neither should.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Perhaps. Like I know guys that will go out to clubs and bars and cheat. So I think both people can. That's all.
Yeah. But the difference is again, like
One,
if the guy,
it's easier, is what you're saying.
yeah, like it's totally different. So let me get through the rest of the pre-show notes here. Who do we have? We have, still Rebecca. You disagree with me that plastic surgery or filler should be illegal. He only doesn't like it because he notices the botched, noticeable surgery. If it's done well, he can't notice, so he thinks the girls are natural. It's ignorant. Guarantee I could show him pics of girls who have had well-done surgery, and he would have no idea they had it done.
Which is true. If it's botched, like it's clockable. You know what I mean? So guys will say, I don't like a girl with surgery, but if it's done well, you don't know she's had it. You know?
I mean, I've never seen a convincing BBL.
Because you don't know it's a BBL.
You can tell.
Not always. I'm telling you. Like there's doctors where it's really good and it looks completely natural.
I mean,
you would just never know if it looks good.
I'd be interested in seeing these photos of these natural looking BBLs.
If I can have my phone, I'll show you. But
I mean,
it takes like a very special doctor, but it does exist. I feel like if it's very well done, you're not supposed to be able to know that it is one.
So you're saying if you can detect that a woman has had plastic surgery, it means that it was botched?
No, that's why you don't like it, because it looks overdone. Because
No,
you were
but
saying you don't like it.
But I don't think all detectable plastic surgery means that it's botched.
But you're saying you don't like, you've said prior that you don't like it in
Austin,
general.
is she too far from the mic again?
Sorry. You've said prior that you don't like it in general.
Yeah, I don't like plastic surgery in general.
Right.
I think it makes women look worse.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's if it's detectable, right? Maybe they've had it and it doesn't look detectable, so you wouldn't know they have it.
Well, it's
kind of like
possible.
the
It's
point,
certainly
yeah.
possible that I could be tricked. But there's another component here, too, that goes beyond just the aesthetic component. And I do think women who get plastic surgery, it's pretty close to well, there's a couple things. It's a proxy for mental illness. You have body, what is it,
dysmorphia.
You have body dysmorphia. You're so uncomfortable.
Boy, you all knew that term.
You're so uncomfortable with your physical appearance as it is that you're willing to undergo a dangerous and unnecessary cosmetic surgery. You're willing to spend thousands of dollars to correct this. It's evidence of insecurity. It's evidence of body dysmorphia. That's proxy for other kinds of mental illnesses. And also, I'm just not interested in dating women who are vain. Not attracted to them. So, and also it's just a financial liability too.
Like
because
also,
if you want me to be the provider and I got to pay for your plastic surgery, and then you got to get your revision plastic surgery, and you got to get your titties redone every 20 years, it's just a financial liability for the man.
So every girl you've ever been with has had no procedures, like no plastic surgery, no
I've only,
color.
to my recollection, although when I met her, she didn't have anything. And actually it was kind of a conflict in the relationship. The vast majority of women I've dated, and you're from Vegas, right?
No, I'm from Texas.
Texas, okay. Yeah, I typically don't date women with any plastic surgery.
Have you ever? And what was your experience?
Oh,
like, did
sure.
they have, like,
I felt
underlying
fake
mental
tits. It's fucking awful. No offense to you guys who have, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. I don't think it looks good. I've been with I think I've been with maybe one or two women who have fake boobs. I don't like the look. I don't like the feel. One girl had lipo. I'd rather a girl with a little belly fat than the fucking weird looking lipo belly. No offense to any of you who have lipo.
But I feel like that goes back to if it's not well done and if it's botched. Because if it's, I'll show you photos later, or if I can get my phone of well done lipo and stuff like that. You can't tell.
I can also tell when they have lip filler.
Yeah. If it's not done well.
And lip has to be natural too, right?
I can always tell with lip filler, because if maybe from the front, even from the front, there's some signs though. But the moment you turn your face to the fucking side, your lip doesn't look. It's uncanny valley. Natural human lips don't have this outline above the lip.
Well, in some ways, I feel like this is kind of a trap to fall into this argument. It's just an argument from outliers. It's like, okay, I agree. There has to be women out there who have all sorts of plastic surgery that I just don't even know is plastic surgery, right? But can you and I agree that the vast majority of women who have fake boobs, we can tell that they're fake boobs, men and women?
Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So, I mean, if that is the case, then what you say is botched is actually not the case. That's actually the standard. The standard then would be botched.
No, I'm saying it's the most noticeable when it's botched. Like, it's
okay, yeah, maybe it is the most noticeable, but I think that the standard that you're saying, if you can detect it, that would all be botched. And so if that's the case, then the standard is that most plastic surgery is botched, and I think that that's a really good case against you and not a good case against Brian.
I just think, like, if it's that detectable, then it's not maybe that well done. And I'm not saying mine
but you would
is,
agree that most plastic surgery is detectable?
No, honestly,
you don't think?
Well done.
I got fake
hang on.
radar.
Okay, if that is the case,
at least not by me. Maybe by.
I think I like the fake look.
If that is the case, then why would you say that most fake boobs are easily detectable by men and women?
I don't know.
That makes no sense. I mean, that's literally a contradiction.
I mean,
right?
not to me. I don't think it's easily detectable. But
I think when you get your boobs done, I felt like that's
You
the
don't
point
think so?
to make it
not always.
look like a Barbie doll.
sometimes,
For you
but-
make your boobs look
Okay, so
perky.
let me ask you this. Be honest with me.
Yeah.
At the women at this table, can you tell which ones have fake boobs or not?
No, because when they said earlier who does and who doesn't, like there were some where I wouldn't have known.
Brian, can you? Can you tell?
Could I look?
Could you tell? Yeah, you can
But
tell.
everyone, because like there were a few people.
We're not
where-
saying everyone.
Yeah.
Right? Remember, this is the argument that you're using for outliers when it's kind of a.
But how could you tell? That's my
Unfortunately,
question.
sometimes Brian, I think humors too much the outlier argument. You're saying, I think you would agree with me that most people can tell when women have fake boobs, right?
Can you tell? Could you tell?
I think that I can tell. I think I can tell for most women, sure. But the thing is like, even if I couldn't. Let's say I couldn't. I'm just terrible at it, right? Because I don't give a shit, which is true, right? I just don't care. People who, or most men, I would still argue can. And I think even more importantly, most women can. I think most women can definitely tell because they have a set of boobs, right? So they're like, that shit's fake. Because what they do is they look at the whole, right? And they're like, the symmetry is wrong. And I've heard this from so many women now that it's unbelievable where they can literally look at a woman and be like, nope, I can tell just based on her symmetry, the way her body is, that she's got fake this, fake that, fake that. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
No, not at all, right? Including you. So the thing is like Brian is making kind of this compelling point of saying, look, if you all can tell, what makes you think we can't tell? Like, we can tell. And kind of your argument back is, but there's some you can't tell. It's like, okay, sure. Just grant these little outliers that you can't tell. But then the standard is botched. Then the standard itself would be botched. And if that's the case, then his argument that most plastic surgery is bad seems to hold weight.
So say there's a girl where it's completely undetectable. Would you date her or you still wouldn't?
Well, sure. You can't tell. Say an alien came.
But he was saying there's
hang
like
on. Say an
underlying mental
hang on.
illness,
Say
like-
an alien came down who looked exactly like a beautiful woman. Everything about her was a beautiful woman. She had vagina. She had everything. You literally couldn't tell the difference between her and a beautiful woman, right? Would you sleep with her? And the guy says, well, sure, right? But he's been tricked, right? Hasn't he?
You would want her to tell
Hang
you.
on. Hasn't he been tricked?
Well, yeah, if it's an alien.
Right,
yes,
if
he
it's
has
an
been
alien.
tricked
So
by the
this
alien.
but this is the same hypothetical you present.
That would be an alien, yes.
Yeah, this is the same hypothetical you present back. Brian, if you absolutely couldn't tell, would you? He says, well, sure. Just like I wouldn't know it was an alien.
So you would want her to tell you, like come into the relationship and be like, hey, yes, I have had these procedures done.
Yeah, I think that's ethical. I think you should disclose that.
Interesting. Okay.
You disagree? You think
No.
you should hide that from?
No, I don't. I mean, I talk about it with people that I'm with. I don't think you should hide it. I don't think you should hide it now.
Can I ask one question, Brian and
Yeah.
Andrew? One of which. Is it okay?
By the way, I have a different standard on this than Brian
I
does.
actually want your opinion on something
Just so you know.
that I'm conflicting about. But Brian, so Libya, the most perfect, the most wonderful, but not real, but the most like burritos is the burritos.
The burrito is Libya,
It's
Brian.
so beautiful, but not real. Maybe enhanced a little bit, but the most amazing.
There's no such procedure. There's no such procedure.
What if there is a procedure? But it is a procedure, which will make it just like
You still want the natural labia, right?
I'd prefer the natural.
The natural.
so natural, but not so perfect or enhanced.
I don't know. What if there was a woman who didn't bitch and moan all the time? That would be nice too.
Oh, there are such women. There are such women.
Yeah, but I'm just giving you.
Guys can bitch
What
and
if there
moan,
was this
too.
woman who did?
Yes, to a much lesser degree, I agree. You know what happens
Brian
though?
is
You know what
thinking,
happens
huh?
though? Here's what I've noticed, this distinction, right? You tell me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
But I've noticed that when men bitch and moan around other men are like, shut up, you fuck. They go, shut the fuck, literally. I'll show you how this is. Shut the fuck up and stop whining, you fuck. I've heard this 1,000 times, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what happens when women are bitching to other women? Oh, sweetheart. I'm so sorry this is happening. This is awful. This is terrible. I can't believe it. Right? And then the other one starts bitching back the other way, and the other one's like, oh, no, you're right. Right? Whole different ball game. So when men and women are talking about bitching and complaining, right? We're holding up the standard to the sex of which we're around the most. For men, that's going to be men, right? Men are usually around men a lot more than they are women. And so the standard when we say women are always bitching, whining, and complaining, what we really mean is we can't just look at them and say, shut the fuck up. And if that was more socially acceptable, right, there would probably be a lot less women who are running around bitching and whining all the time. Because for men, totally socially acceptable. 100% completely acceptable to be like, shut the fuck up, stop whining.
I think it's if you have that relationship with that person.
No,
Growing up with
I
a bunch
think
of
with
brothers
total
and
strangers,
brothers.
I've heard it 100 times with total strangers where someone's like, dude, shut up. I'm sick of hearing it. Dude, shut up. I've heard this more times than I can count. In fact, I've said it myself. I've said it myself to people. Dude, stop whining, you fuck. I've literally said it myself.
I
I don't
think
know
on
how
some
many.
accounts,
And let me ask you. And how many times have you heard men say that shit to other men?
A lot.
A
I've been
lot.
told by my brother, shut the hell up.
Yeah,
You guys
shut
are
the hell
whining.
up. But that's what I mean, right? Is like this is the distinction in social. So when you hear women say, well, men bitch too. It's like, yeah, I agree. They bitch all the time, right? Nonstop, in fact. The difference is that other men, it's socially acceptable for them to be like, shut up. And, there's all sorts of slurs that usually come behind that, right? Which are totally socially acceptable and, by the way, hilarious.
Yep.
But you can't look at a woman and say that to them. That's where it's not socially acceptable. So that's why we go, okay, women bitch and complain all the time.
It's normal for women to do it, but when men do it, it's like, what the hell's wrong with
Yeah.
you? Exactly.
Yeah. So that's why we say women are always bitching and complaining. Yeah. It's not really that as much as it is we just want to be like, shut up. Right?
You got that? Do you have a relationship with your wife? Can you do that to her?
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah. It doesn't have to happen. I mean, it doesn't have to happen much, but there have been many times where I've been like playing a game and I've been like, I don't fucking care. Leave me alone. I don't fucking, literally what you're talking about right now, I don't give a fuck. And you know what I do care about? Moving this rock on Zelda. You see, if I can get it at the right angle to drop it in right here, it opens up this cave. I've been working on this for 30 minutes. And what you're talking about right now is fucking nonsense.
So has she done the same to
I
you?
would love it if you would go that direction while I finished what it is that I'm fucking doing. That
Has
would
your
be
wife
great.
done that to you before? Like,
What's
shut
that?
the hell up. I'm tired of you talking. Has your wife done that to you?
No, because I don't talk that much.
But just hypothetically, like you were bitching about something or whining.
Yes,
or something.
of course. In our relationship, there has been times, I'm sure, where she's been like, "Okay, honey, got it."
She just does it very nicely.
or something like that. You know what I mean? But it's rare because I don't talk that much. I don't need to talk that much. Not that important. I usually only open my mouth if there's something which is important to say. And usually that's not very much, so I usually don't open my mouth. Right? And that. By the way, I think that's the experience of most men. In fact, I would say with my best friends, right? I've gone to lunch with my best friend, for instance, never said a fucking word to him the entire time we've been at lunch. I mean, not a word. Got in the truck, drove back, shot some guns. He left. Maybe we said 15 things to each other. Best guy in the world. Right?
Yeah.
Fantastic. I don't know what the fuck was in his mind, and I don't care.